Leaving your home in whatever country you're from is a major decision. And the reality is the vast majority of people who do choose to become expats usually do find themselves at some point moving back home. The question is why? If it's something that people dream about for so long, if it's something that people see as kind of the only escape from constant inflation, economic crisis, potential from war, just kind of the social friction that we feel every day as we operate in America, why do they end up coming back? And I really want to talk about kind of the three main reasons I feel why that happens. The first thing, obviously, is just financial. It's important to understand that it is cheaper to live abroad in many places, right? It is an escape from the constant grind of just having to pay to live, of having to pay to survive in America or in many Western countries. But a lot of people do tend to overextend themselves. You know, when you do reach that paradise that you've been searching for so long, it's easy to just kind of go off the rails. And Americans in general, we're not exactly the wisest spenders. We spend a lot of money. You know, it's what we do. And if you've been to Thailand, you've been to the Philippines, even though, you know, it's cheap to live there, you know, relative to everywhere else, a lot of people don't want to give up that Western life that they have, that Western diet, you know, just being able to do all the things and have access to all the things that they had here in the West. And because all those things are imported, because that lifestyle is more expensive, it breaks the bank for a lot of people. So while, yeah, you might be on Social Security, you know, you might have that kind of stable income, it might not be enough. You know, $1,500 a month in a lot of countries is completely doable to live a great life. But the reality is a lot of people have a hard time staying within that budget that they set for themselves. So financial planning is an incredibly important thing, and a kind of discipline. So you're not just going out to the bars, chasing women, eating overpriced Western food that you shouldn't have anyway, because it's one of the reasons why your health probably went bad. It leads to a lot of bad situations that expats find themselves in. Like I said, especially when it comes to the drinking, you know, the partying, that kind of excess. And, you know, the sad reality is that's one of the reasons why a lot of people from the West say that they want to leave a culture that kind of focuses on that lifestyle. There are people who want to date, they say that they don't like that kind of culture, but it's the culture that they take with them. But it's easy to become overextended. Some people, they want to do the most comfortable thing. And, you know, that leads a lot of people to just use stuff like Airbnb, which is always going to be much more expensive. So, you know, if you plan on only having $1,500 to $2,000 a month, but you're using an Airbnb and you're paying $900 to $1,500 a month, you're not giving yourself that kind of wiggle room that you actually need to thrive in another place. So a lot of people just get broke. And what do you do? And when you're in a foreign land and you're broke, you do what you have to do to come back. The next is just kind of a feeling that they're not accepted. It's not your culture. It's not a place that you have roots, whether that be historically or simply when it comes to family. A lot of people just don't have the kind of emotional support that maybe they're used to. And that is a hard thing to do. And a lot of expats do find themselves being lonely, and it's easy to be that way. We're not a social country in America. We've lost our ability to be social unless we're drinking. It's like the only kind of socialization most people get nowadays. You know, it's just to drink, to get the kind of Dutch courage that you need to say hi to a stranger. It's a shame, but a lot of people take that with them. And like I said, it kind of takes you back to the first one, where people lose themselves or lose control of their finances and their spending just because they're trying to chase, you know, a dream of who they thought that they were going to be when they got to the other country. But who you are now is who you're going to be there. Is it going to save you? Maybe. But if you don't let yourself open up to the world, if you don't let yourself open up to other people, you're going to have a real hard go of it. If we're being completely honest, you know, it's not. Now, expat communities in general, you know, they're very friendly, they're very open because everyone's going through the same thing. And that's like one of the best pieces of advice that I can really give you in your preparation before you go, get into some expat communities in the region that you're going. Number one, you'll start making connections. You'll know people when you get there, and that's great. You might find better opportunities when it comes to lodging. Places that you shouldn't go, places that you should go. Those are usually the best resources that you're going to have before you actually go there. I love a good expat community. I love a good expat group on Facebook. It's a great resource. Don't overlook that. Because if you do fail to do that, if you do fail to let yourself integrate into these societies that you're moving into, you set yourself apart, you'll be treated as an outsider. And to a degree, you're always going to be an outsider because, like I said, you don't have any roots in that culture. But that doesn't mean that you're necessarily unwelcome. But people can put themselves in the position where they are unwelcome. And usually that's going to be through their behavior and their unwillingness to actually participate in the local culture. Culture is important. Trying to understand, get out there and learn about the culture that you're stepping into is incredibly important. And learn as much as you can before you actually go. America's a new country, and we forget that most of the time. But a lot of these countries that you want to go to, civilizations have been around for thousands of years, right? Their history is important to them, even if the people from those countries say that it's not important to them. It is. It's built into who they are. But it can feel, like I said, very isolating, especially if you're only sticking to expat communities. If the only people that you're hanging out with are other Americans, are other Australians, people from the West, people who look like you, people who sound like you, if you put no effort into learning the language, you're going to feel lonely to a degree. You'll meet people, but you're going to miss a lot of opportunities. You're going to miss out on a lot of resources that you could probably gather and accumulate and use to better your life if you ignore those things. You have to remember that your entire dream is built on the premise that you're going to get out of your comfort zone. So you have to accept that. You have to accept the fact that you're going to have to change some things. That all the problems with where you are at now isn't exactly the place that you're at now. And that kind of takes us to the third thing, which is your baggage. It doesn't matter what country you're from, you carry cultural baggage with you, whether that's good or whether that's bad. Not just your personal beliefs in your country, but the effects that your country has had on the countries that you're going to and the other countries in the world. As Americans, we carry a heavy reputation with us, especially these days. In reality, we're all just normal, regular people. None of us are politicians. None of us actually control the decisions of our government, but you still carry the passport. And people will look at you and assume that you have some kind of responsibility. They're going to project that onto you. And that's something you have to be aware of. And depending on what country you go to, even though it might be your dream, if there's some kind of hostility between your country and their country or negative sentiment, that could cause some friction. But in general, as long as you're a good person, as long as you leave your cultural baggage behind and you're willing to assimilate and participate in the culture in which you're going into, you're going to be fine. I'm going to talk about this in another video, but do people hate Americans? Are they welcome abroad? Yes, they are. Are they hated? The reality is there's a lot of tourists, there's a lot of travelers out there who show their ass when they travel. And that ruins the reputation for a lot of us. But that doesn't have to be you. You can change the reputation of other travelers just based off your actions as well. Now, it's easy for one apple to ruin the bunch, yes. But like I said, you can always break down any of these preconceived notions that other people have, just like they could break those down for you. We're all the same, really. We're all just trying to get by here and create something new for ourselves, and you have to embrace that. But the other side of that, of course, of that baggage is the fact that you take so much pride, if you do, in the country that you're from, whether that's Australia, whether that's England, whether that's America. It doesn't particularly matter. Your patriotism is something that's acceptable. You should always love where you're from to a degree, but it shouldn't be your entire personality. You have to get beyond that. I've met people all over the world who, when they leave America, that's when they become truly patriotic, right? That's when they talk about how much they love their country, how great their country is, but they're the first people to leave it. It's a kind of hypocrisy that's just hard for a lot of people to understand and just doesn't really feel genuine. You have to get away from that. You can't let where you're from define you. Like I said, this is kind of the whole thing of what you're trying to get away from. So let yourself get away from that. Just be you. It's as simple as that. If you want to be accepted in another place, you don't want to be lonely, you just have to be you and be open to other people and realize that, yeah, you are a guest. Even if you're there for 10 years, 20 years, you're never going to be 100% assimilated into any culture or society. And that is something very special about America, or at least it used to be, that you can come here and just kind of be accepted. But things have changed, and that's a reality that we're all dealing with. But that's one thing that our culture was built on, was a kind of aggressive diversity, an inflow of migrants. And America's a large country and it can compensate for that. So when you do see a lot of foreigners move into another country and destabilize the cultural ecosystem, the economy there, it can cause a lot of resentment. And if you take pride in that, and if you purposely differentiate yourself from the rest of the crowd, then it becomes an issue. Like, no one cares really how much you love your country or how much you hate your country when you're abroad. They just want you to be a decent person and experience what's around you. So you can do that. I have faith in you. I've done it. It's really not hard. So that's it. Be yourself and be careful with your finances. And those three things you can beat and have a little bit more control over your life. Because in the end, that's what this entire thing's about. It's about getting control. So have that control and love life and live it and get out there. Don't think that you're forced to come back, right? Because you don't really have to be. Or if you want to come back, that's on you too. That's the thing. Your life, your choice. Appreciate you guys as always. Like and subscribe. Think about becoming a member. Have a good one.